Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine. If you like my haircut, I'll cut yours.
Marty Levinson, my friend, it's Scott Lee Cohn, and I want you to know, while I'm cutting the waste and corruption in Illinois, I'm going to be doing it with you in mind.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, the real Marty Levinson. All these people have been doing me for 7 years, maybe 8 years, but I really am the Marty Levinson that you all want to see. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host of 22 years on television, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at ntnm.org. All of our shows are on YouTube. 315,000 views. Thank you so much. Congratulations to KNTV on the new studios. Glad we're everything's back on the air and working normally. And anyway, it is election season officially when we have candidates already running for office on shows, and 2 of the 3 people are running for office, and one of them wants to, but we're going to give you a real running person, somebody who's running for state's attorney of Cook County, and I want to thank both Brandy Graff and John Davis for bringing her to my attention and getting her on the show, and that is Donna More. How are you?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
First of all, thank you. And why is it that you want to be state's attorney, and what are you going to do?
Well, like everybody else in Cook County, I am frustrated and dismayed at the level of violence that we see in Cook County. I grew up in Evanston. I live in Chicago now. I love the city, the county, and I feel very strongly, like other parents and other citizens, that we have to do something about crime in our neighborhood and in our county. But unlike other parents, I feel I have the ability to be able to do something about it. Being former state and federal prosecutor, former general counsel for a state agency, I've been in private practice. So I feel that my experience prepares me to be state's attorney of Cook County and actually address issues that I think have been dormant and not addressed for the past 7 years.
Okay, you want to get specific here?
Well, listen, I think that the issues of the community need to be the issues that take priority in the state's attorney's office. And in my mind, and I think in a lot of people's minds, the number one issue is gun violence. And we have to do something to combat gun violence. And we've
even got it around here.
If you look at the Tribune crime statistics, you will see that if you look at a map of Cook County, there is no neighborhood that is immune from criminal activity in our county, and immune from gun violence. And so it seems to me that now that there's competition in the race for state's attorney, we're hearing from the incumbent about the legislature should do this and this group should do that, but it's been an absent topic for 7 years. And I think we have to do a couple of things when it comes to gun violence to really combat it. The first is, and I like to call it a neighborhood strategic alliance. Gun violence has to be looked at from all sides. We need our parents, our pastors and other clergy, we need our police officers, we need our prosecutors, we need the aldermen in local communities. We need the sheriff, local mayor, Cook County board president, whoever we can get at a table to start to address community-wide these issues. Too often the violence and the gangs, they flourish because they're in darkness. Let's bring them out. Officers know who the problem folks are, and they know who the next victim is going to be.
Yeah, I didn't mention to you, by the way, I do chair my community policing beat, and have for about 20 years. And Sonny Hirsch, our entire technical crew in his spare time, is chairman of the 24th District CAPS Advisory Committee. And by the way, yeah, we do know who these people
That's
are.
right. Listen, it's important, and this, the state's attorney is the leader, in my mind, of the criminal justice system in Cook County. We have over 100 law enforcement agencies. We have many mayors, many city councils and town councils. We have one state's attorney. And that person, to me, has to take the lead, has to set that table of all these folks to actually do something. I mean, I was talking to a mayor, North Side mayor, and a North Shore mayor, who told me that they know who the shooters are, they know who the next victim is going to be, and that they are actually paying people to move out of their city so they don't become the next victim, and that they're not getting cooperation from the state's attorney's office. So that is something we need to address. It takes not only the state's attorney, but it takes others, but it takes the state's attorney to lead the effort, I believe. So that's one thing I'd really like to focus on. And then the other thing is that I think we need to create a gun court, a citywide gun court.
Yeah, I read that. That was a really interesting idea.
Well, and if it works in the city, we can branch it out to our suburban courts. But again, if you have a gun court with prosecutors and a judge or judges who are experienced, you begin to learn the people coming through the system. You know which folks are your career criminals. You know who might have just made a mistake, and you're going to treat them differently. You have cases that you want to take up and indict right away, promptly. You have cases that you want to put on for a preliminary hearing. And I think you begin to learn about where the violence is coming from and who's doing it. And as assistant state's attorneys in those courtrooms can address promptly where the issues are coming from. And I think that then you also get cooperation with judges, the public defenders and the defense lawyers who, again, can't pull a quick one over you because you know who you're focused on. You know who's coming through that courtroom. So those are two things that are very important to me and that I think will make a difference.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense to me. And the fact is, if I wanted to be funny here, I say familiarity breeds contempt. But actually, the fact of the matter is that if you're familiar with that area of crime, I hate when the police department here keeps moving everything out. Every 2 years they change everything that's going on. If you have familiarity with a certain department, or a certain area for X amount of time, it does nothing but benefit you and benefit the community to take advantage of that kind of situation. And I do like that idea very much.
I think it's important because I do think that you need to make sure that you're understanding of what's going on in the community. And I think that if you do, and then the state's attorney, as you know, can recommend sentencing, and by knowing these folks, I think judges will rely more on recommendations coming from assistant state's attorneys. And I think that you just have a better run, more efficient system when it comes to gun violence. And that, to me, is our number one issue right now in the criminal justice system.
No, there's no listen. It's getting all the headlines, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, that area that I grew up in, that I was talking to you, the nickname of my old neighborhood is Murder Town.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good PR thing for the neighborhood, I don't think.
No, somehow no. But the residents themselves call it Murder Town.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the Spike Lee movie Chirac. So again, from a national standpoint, I love where I grew up, and I love this city, and that's not what we should be known for. And I think that it is everybody's responsibility to deal with the problem. Again, from parents and police and prosecutors and other elected officials. But we got to sit down at a table and talk about it and figure out solutions. And the other thing we need to do in that group is get community groups involved, like the one that you belong to. And for too long now, in the past 7 years, community groups have not had the door open for them at 26 and Cale to talk to the state's attorney and say, here, these are folks that are on the front lines. These are folks that need to have their suggestions taken because, look, I believe in diversity around a table.
We're going to have to wrap it up now, so.
And I think, the more information you have, the better policy you make.
Give us, if people would like to contact your campaign, I'm sure you're on the web, Facebook, whatever, go.
www.voteformore, VOTEFORMORE, just one O, .com. And I appreciate your support, and I look forward to you following my campaign.
Donna More, candidate for Democratic nomination for State's Attorney. Thank you to Brandy Graff. Thank you to John Davis. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.